Hello and welcome to another week of the Irish Fantasy Punts here with you talking Week 8 Fantasy Football and Week 9 preview. How did your Halloween go, guys?
Awesome, I did absolutely nothing.
As some may hear from my husky voice, I had a hard weekend.
I put all my shenanigans down on Friday so that I was well recovered by the time, because you know it's 3 days for a hangover these times, like when you cross the 30 threshold.
Oh, I think I'm genuinely sick now. Like,
whoa, we're not all crossed the 30 threshold yet.
I'm here drinking a limp sip.
What happened to you? You used to be like cool.
I am cool. I've been drinking for 3 days. You didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm poor. There's a difference. If I drink for 3 days, I don't eat for 2 weeks.
All I'm hearing is no commitment. That's all I'm hearing.
For what I'm taking from this, Jamie, is you didn't watch any good horror movies or anything, no?
Did I watch any good horror films? No, I did not. No, I did go see that Smile one there like 2 weeks ago. Though.
Yeah, we went to see that there on Saturday.
Fucking freaky enough, wasn't it?
No, it was shit, man.
It was good. No, I thought it was good.
Horror films don't affect me that way. It's a few jump scares, and it's like, it was just a bunch of people smiling at each other, and then at the we won't ruin the end, but there's like a really bad scene at the end. It's just like this, like you could have just put more money into the CGI on this at the end.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely could have done that. But I thought it was actually quite good.
No,
usually horror films are like either really shite or really, really good.
No, I thought it was awful. Then we watched like I think 4 of the Resident Evils, and we watched all 5 Final Destinations.
God, you really didn't go for the quality movies, did you? You really
no. In fairness, I think Final Destination 1 and 2 are actually all right, but 3, 4, and 5 are absolute ass.
Well,
they
one
are
was quite good, actually. Yeah.
I love it. I love it in 3 where they die in the tanning salon. That's like probably my favorite death.
Yeah, we were going through all the deaths in it, and we were like, that has to be the slowest, most painful death they had throughout the whole thing. Like out of all of them, getting cut in half with barbed wire, engine into the back of the head, nail gun through the forehead, fucking all that shit. Dying on a tanning bed, burning to death, skin melting is the worst one. That was the worst one.
Yeah, not a good way to go. Like,
no, it's awful.
I thought that one was quite inventive because, like, the rest of them are all like, a big log falls off a truck and goes right into your face. Like,
yeah, that was the top in the second one.
Yeah, but even now, when you're driving behind like a big log truck, you're like, oh shit.
No, it doesn't affect me that way. Like, I don't like flying, but I just don't like flying because I think it's like a thing that I'm not in control of anything up here. And if we go down, they can tell me we're going to survive. It's a high probability of survival in a plane crash. It all goes out the window. I don't care. I don't like flying. But like watching Final Destination, the plane blow up wouldn't be the thing that makes me not want to get on the plane. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's like saying like, oh, driving out the motorway, a big log truck. It's not going to stop me from driving.
Well, let's put it now. I don't have an irrational fear of log trucks. Okay, I just put that out.
Maybe doesn't like big wood.
It was. I think with every plane journey now, you're just out. Even work ones, you're slightly loose on the plane, so it's never too bad.
Work plane journeys.
That was just a casual drop.
Fuck do you work?
You go away and audit people. You never been?
No, dude. No, I've never been on a work plane trip.
It's actually not that nice because they always make you travel on the same day. So you have to fly out in the morning, fly back in the evening. So it's actually just like working for a really long day.
Did you get paid overtime and expenses and travel money and all that for that? Yeah.
Oh, no, not when you're on a salary. No, forget about that. You're on a salary, you get slapped in the face, and that's about it. Like you might get a burger on. They let you expense back to Burger King.
No sides.
No sides. What do you mean you wanted barbecue sauce for an extra 20 cents?
Oh, let's hop into the heroes for the week.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Any personal heroes this week in the old fantasy players? Did anyone come to the fore for you two?
Oh, my whole team Bar Amon-Ra actually had a good week, but he didn't do Amon-Ra things. But my whole team was amazing.
My team actually did quite well this week. All right, and I still lost, which is very disappointing. Kyler Murray did really well. He actually finally played well, and so did Aaron Jones and Waddle, of course. Obviously, it was unbelievable. You know.
Yeah, but still nothing to help you essentially.
No, it was the last by 6 points.
Oh well, like if we go into the fantasy points of the week and go through them. There was a big week for Jalen Hurts again. Tua with a massive week. Justin Fields making an appearance in the top 5, and then Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott. So, like you said, Jamie, Kyler is sitting there, but Justin Fields probably an interesting name there. He's on most people's waivers. It might be worth a shot these days to go after him.
Yeah, definitely if you're stuff for quarterback. So like at this point in my league, the way I'm sitting, like I could be forced to get rid of Murray to try and bring in some bit of a running back or something. But like if Fields is sitting there, he could be just as good a replacement because Murray's hasn't been doing much this year so far. And Fields is the kind of guy that you kind of want to replace someone like that with, a running quarterback. It's everything you want in fantasy.
You're also putting your faith in Justin Fields and the Bears. So this is a scary thing there.
Oh, very scary thing to do. But when you have nothing to lose, then like me, you might as well go for it.
Shane, any impression on Dak Prescott then?
Shane has disappeared.
We just lost Shane. We'll hang on for him. We'll move on.
We'll come back to his opinion on Dak Prescott later.
I'm sure he'll tell us eventually.
He will definitely tell us, yeah.
Alvin Kamara then with a 38-point week of the running back. Basically, if you had any of these top 5 running backs, it didn't matter because they all outscored everyone. Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard, and then Deonta Foreman. One of these things doesn't match the others.
Deonta Foreman is sick though, because I picked up Jimmy Hubbard instead of him. Trying to pick between the 2 running backs, so that actually could have won me the league or won me the week. But yeah, that's not a guy you really want to be putting your faith in, is it?
No. What's your record now? Are you 1-7 at this stage?
I am 1-7 now. Yeah.
It might be time to look at your keepers for next year, Jamie.
It's definitely that kind of time now. Yeah.
Nick Chubb and Travis Etienne had a good week as well, but like in comparison, Dalvin Cook as well, but in comparison to the top end, like if you played against the McCaffreys or the Alvin Kamara, it was a bit of a pain.
It was, yeah. Well, it was nice to see Norman names this week. Like, do you remember last week? It was just absolutely throw a dart to the board and pick a running back. It was some mad names. At least we're kind of back to normal. At least you can kind of pick these boys.
At least it's not a complete dart throw and I don't get stabbed in the eye.
Yeah, except for Foreman. Other than that.
Well, hey, two consistent weeks from Foreman now. Are we in on Foreman now? Are we saying Foreman can lead the backfield?
If you have him, you're playing him now every week. But like, I'm not trading for him either, though.
Well, I actually took a look at his schedule earlier today, and like he done well against a banged up Tampa Bay defense. Then Atlanta, who we know somehow they're leading the South. I have no idea, but they're doing it. But he's playing the Bengals next, right? So that's a decent challenge. If he does well against the Bengals, he's back against Atlanta. But then the one that I'm really looking for to see how is he a lead back is Baltimore week 11. I think week 11 for Deontay Foreman owners is going to be a big week. That'll tell you what kind of quality you have back there, I think.
If I had him, I'd personally trade him. I'd wait for that next Atlanta game and then trade him directly after that because...
Yeah, I think I'd be on board with that. I don't even know would I wait that long. I think if he gets a third good week, next week after the Bengals, if he's got 15 plus points again, I think I'm trying to move him straight away. And I think I'll take lower than what I would expect to get if you follow my drift. Like if I'd probably take like a Tony Pollard and a low end wide receiver like for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think if I can move him and gain good depth pieces. That's what I'd be looking to do. I just
Yeah,
to get as much as I could for him and then go like.
I think this is your week to do it though, because if Hover comes back, like he's going to take some of that away from him. I think.
Is he though? Like he rushed for 116 yards and 100 or 118 yards and 118 yards back-to-back games. 3 touchdowns and one touchdown and another. Or did he even have a touchdown? No, he had no touchdown the first week. 118 yards, and then this week he gets 3 touchdowns, 2-point conversion, and 118 yards. That's like for a backup running back, which is what he was. That's serious output. Like he was Henry's backup last year, wasn't he? And he's McCaffrey's he was this year.
I think you have to find the right owner though who'd actually trade for him. Like you need to find the guy who's on tilt, maybe the guy who has Jonathan Taylor, who's pissed off and not getting any sort of production. You might be able to con him out of something, but like, what are you realistically getting for him though? Like, what do you like?
I would say you could right now. Would you pick up like an ETN for him, or maybe even a guy on? I don't know, man. Like
No,
ETN is poor.
Yeah.
He's
You're
poor.
never getting ETN. He's not. ETN's been a beast.
I don't. He has had one good week, has he?
No, he's absolutely.
No, it's had a good few weeks.
Yeah.
Because he has that backfield to himself now as well. So like he is the man there. He's going to get a lot of money. Definitely not ETN.
Would you move Aaron Jones? No, definitely not.
No.
Like Sanders, maybe. Would you trade Fournette for him? No. I don't think you're moving any of the top backs like that, but like you're probably going to get what? It's hard to say. Najee Harris, you'd probably get Najee for him. Singletary.
You want Najee though is the issue. I think I'd take Deonta Foreman over Najee at this stage.
Yeah, but see, I think Najee has been a consistent 9 points all year. Like,
yeah.
Do you take that consistency and get another piece with Najee to give up Foreman, who's doing like absolute stud things now at the minute? But is it like, are you backing him for consistency?
I don't know. I think if you could put Foreman with a wide receiver and get a more established player, go for it. But like,
so you're of the opinion move up the way rather than get depth, which is what I'm on.
Yeah, no, I'd be pairing him with something else and going and getting a bigger name, just because I'd also be afraid. Like, Deonta Foreman came back from that Achilles injury, and we've seen this a couple of times. I know Deonta Foreman's a few years removed from it, but you see it every now and then where someone comes back from Achilles, they play 3 or 4 or 5 games hard, and then they just slowly drop off a little bit. But
so then, do you think if you package Foreman with, say, a Cortland Sutton, you could move for Travis Etienne?
I don't think anyone's trading for Cortland Sutton. Like anyone who has ETN is dancing in the streets because they think they've just won the lottery. It looked like it was done with ETN, and like I traded away ETN 3 weeks ago in a dynasty league, and I am filled with regret. Like I've been disgusted with myself.
I don't think I really would be. I don't see ETN having longevity in the league. He's too small. He's too light. I don't see it.
No, don't think so.
Oh, yeah,
I like ETN. I really do.
Take Mike Evans and Pickens for JT, Taysom Hill, and McKenzie.
No.
Jesus,
no. Yeah.
Surely get more trade value on him than that.
Look, this is a big thing. I know people are fed up with JT, but Jonathan Taylor is a serious back. For some reason, Frank Reich isn't using him the right way, and he seems to.
He got fired today.
The which?
The OC got fired today. The cold soul.
Yeah, but like, is that really going to change it? Like Frank Reich is he's an offensive coach. He's the one calling the plays most likely. He set up the playbook. Like
running out of shotgun the whole time though. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like
yeah, like
why are you running out of shotgun?
It's suiting like a back like ETN, Naheem Hines, those kind of guys. They love playing running back in those kind of teams that run out of shotgun like that. JT, it doesn't suit him. Like need the ground and pound. But the problem is, when are the Colts ever ahead enough that they could just run the shit out of the clock? Like, they haven't been good this year to do it.
Carr, Stafford, Russ, and Rodgers in a single QB dynasty. Drop Carr for Dolphins D with Bradley Chubb, or Washington with Chase Young coming back. Both defenses. Okay, so both those defenses are on the wire in a dynasty. You've Russ, Rodgers, and Stafford.
Probably take the Dolphins if I'm, to be honest.
Like, who's your defense
Right.
now?
Who do the Dolphins even have coming up?
Because like their secondary has been asked this year. Like, they have Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, and that, but their secondary has been terrible.
Yeah, the Dolphins defense hasn't been amazing, but they probably will get more sacks now. But it's still like, yeah, they have been awful.
They'll definitely pressure the QB a bit more, like, but they haven't been good. Like, and it's the same at Washington. Washington, their DBs have been terrible this year. Like, Chase Young coming in, that their D line is already fairly stacked. Like, they have a good D line in Washington. Like, Chase Young is better than what they have, obviously, but like, is he going to make that much of a difference to the defense? Like, probably pick up a couple of extra sacks, but like, they're still probably going to get scored on a lot, and it's probably not going to make a difference to your score and in fantasy in the end.
The defense too is the kind of thing you can kind of just pick up week to week anyway. I don't think you
Yeah,
need to be.
At the minute, that's what I'm kind of doing. Like, I went to Jaguars. Now I'm onto the Seahawks. I might keep them for a week and change out. Like, Seahawks defense played well this week, and I think they're top 5 defense now overall. So like, Seahawks defense is rarely, from what I can see on Sleeper, it's not really on many rosters. I pick up the Seahawks defense.
If it's there, though, it's dynasty. People will hold these things for fucking
Yeah,
ages.
like the Seahawks are playing Arizona this week coming up. The Cardinals haven't been fantastic.
I have no issue dropping Russ, though, either in this situation. Like,
No, Russ.
No.
What is he? He's averaging 12 points or 13 points or something a game this year. That's terrible for a QB.
yeah, like Carr's not playing much better. Like, but like, to be honest, I'm just not in love with either option. Like, if I had to cut either of them at any given moment, I wouldn't care. I just cut them. Like, you have 3 quarterbacks. It's a 1 QB league. You're fine. Whichever one you prefer. I probably would get rid of Derek Carr just for the sake of it, though.
Yeah, Derek Carr is definitely the one out of all of them to drop. I know Devontae Adams is there, Darren Waller is there, but Carr out of all of them has the least upside, even though he has probably the best weapons.
It's probably a toss up to be fair between Carr and Russ because like, you're at nothing with any of them in there.
No, in fairness, all of them quarterbacks this year are ass. They're really bad. Like, I traded for Rodgers because I did not have a QB, and there was absolutely no good QBs left on the waiver wire. So I got Rodgers to get me a couple of 18-point weeks, and now he's on my bench.
Yeah.
I'll take a look into the figures a bit more as we're talking on the next couple of things, and I'll come back to you with which defense actually has a better schedule.
Yeah, look, he goes on to say there, Dan. I think he's saying that the Jets might be on the waiver as well. I'm not sure. He said he has the Bucs and Ravens defense, and was just thinking about the Dolphins of Washington, and the Jets have a top 5 potential. If the Jets defense is there, I get the Jets defense over the other two.
The Jets defense is that Zach Wilson's just going to keep throwing the ball away, so they're going to be on the field a lot. Like, until Wilson's benched.
You're going to have that with Washington. Like, the Dolphins, okay, you probably don't have that. They will control the ball better, but Washington is the same problem with throwing the ball away. If Carson Wentz or Heineke is there, I don't trust either of them. But the Jets have that ability to pick the ball off and get you scores. Like, the Jets could be a low-end defense, or they could score 20 points on as a defense. Like,
anyway, we're massive sidetracked. We need to get back to the stuff. We're in wide receivers.
Okay. Yeah.
Our defenses. Wide receiver studs: AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay. Sorry. Did you see the news?
It is, yeah, but we're moving on. We'll come back to
Okay. We move on. We come back to the news. Okay.
Wide receiver studs. AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Waddle and Hill just combining to be 3 and 4 here. DJ Moore with his no helmet celebrations, and then Rondale Moore getting all the Moores. Amari Cooper, and then Cooper injured Cup. Any names jumping off the page there, you two, except for the Miami wide receivers and AJ Big Boy Brown?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, yeah. He had a great game, didn't he? Good to see
Bar the fact that he took his helmet off like an idiot.
I still don't hate on him too much. The kicker still should have kicked that point. Stupid fucking kickers.
Yeah, Eddie Pinheiro, man. He definitely, like, how is he not a free agent at the minute? Jesus. He missed 2 chances to win the game. 2. Like, he's just awful. But DJ Moore, seriously, he fucked up my bet at the weekend, and now I hate him. I used to like DJ Moore, but now I hate him.
He beat me
cost
fantasy.
me.
So
What?
he beat me. Only
he
for
actually
that touchdown. I won.
Yeah, he killed you,
Yeah.
didn't he? Because you had Waddle after having a serious week. Yeah, DJ Moore
Yeah.
fucked you up big time.
Fuck you or
Well, didn't you lose that game by like 20 points at the end?
no, I lost by 6.
Oh, did you? All right.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the defense question, Seattle actually have the easiest run-in now for defense. So they play Arizona, Tampa Bay, Las Vegas, the Rams, Carolina, San Francisco, Kansas City, which is their hardest matchup, the Jets, and then the Rams again.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of
Surprising,
them teams there that are probably going to come good, are they? Like, surely the Rams come good. Tampa Bay surely come good.
Yeah, it's hard to know. I think I'd be going Seattle anyway. They seem to be, and I'm a Cardinals fan, and I don't want to say it's Seattle, but I think they have come good. I would go Seattle.
Yeah. I think if the Jets, just to finish off that last question, I think if the Jets were there, that'll be who I'd pick up.
Tight ends then. Tyler Conklin, massive week. Zach Wilson. It was a big week for some tight ends. Then we had likely then for Baltimore. That was the most likely option there, wasn't it? Low hanging fruit. Kyle Pitts appeared, and he will disappear again. Evan Ingram, George Kittle, Zach Ertz, Mike Gesicki, and then Dulcich. I really like him and his hair. I think he's flowing locks.
Everyone's new favorite tight end.
Yeah, I think he's a realistic fantasy option though, isn't he? Like he's a very good fantasy option now, Dulcich.
Yeah, I think himself and Likely there are 2 guys. I think if you need a tight end to pick up one of those guys.
Well, Likely, like what's his? How long are we missing Mark Andrews for?
Bateman's gone too. So like, as long as they're out, he is a option to have.
So what we're saying, Mark Andrews is probably out till after the Baltimore bye. He'll probably be back against Carolina, is it?
He's out for a week too, isn't he?
Anyway. So you got Likely for another week, and then he hits the bye. So yeah, if Likely's there and you're in need of a tight end, 100% I'd be picking him up. But other than that, he's good for if you're on the carousel, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is this the news? Ridley to the Jags.
Ridley to the Jags, and there's Jeff Wilson has gone to Miami as well.
Is Calvin Ridley still not banned?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he is, yeah. The Falcons traded him randomly.
Fair enough.
They 5th rounder and a 2024 2nd rounder.
I suppose.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Don't know if I would have been trading for a wide receiver that's had depression issues and then got a gambling ban. I might have waited a little while, but do you want to go through the Hawkinson impact now while we're on tight ends?
Yeah, we let the man who has him on his roster give his opinion first, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we were kind of talking about this earlier. I think it's a bit of a toss-up, really. You know, like he kind of had that open market in the Lions where like he was, you know, the second receiver there, but now he's going into a little bit more options. You know, but saying that, they did give away a lot for him. You know, so like you would imagine that they're drafting or trading for him for an absolute reason, and that reason is put him straight in the team. And if you're taking a glad like Hawkinson with the Vikings, who are a better offense, you would imagine that it's not going. I don't think it's going to drop on you, to be honest. But I do think he might do better there. So I think he obviously is a I don't want to say better than quarterback, but but it's a better offense.
Oh, poor old Kirk Cousins. But yeah, no, I do think he's going into a better situation. Like, obviously, the Vikings are a much better side than Detroit, but you're saying there, like, you've got JJ ahead of him, you've got Thielen ahead of him. Like, to me, it reeks of we're stacking this offense as much as we can. We know our defense is lacking a bit, so we need as many options out there to outscore whoever we can with whatever targets we need to get. Like, they looked and said Smith Jr. isn't going to do it for us. We need like big boys out there to score big points. They went and got Hawkinson. I think he's more of a when we're stuck in the playoffs and we need to get the ball to a big body tight end in the red zone. He's our guy. And I like the trade. I'd be very interested to see how it goes fantasy wise. I think I think he was more fantasy relevant on paper at the Lions than what he is at Minnesota.
Yeah, I wouldn't be getting overexcited about it. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference for Hawkinson. I think he might end up blocking a lot more, to be honest, because like Justin Jefferson's going to be open. Thielen's a big body receiver. Like, he'll get his 4 or 5 targets. I think Dalvin could be ahead of him in the pecking order in the receiving game. Really, like, I think I wouldn't get too excited about it. Like, he'll have his games, but there's probably he's still in that mediocre tight end landscape to me.
Oh, that's harsh, man. I would have said Hawkinson is one of the better tight ends in the league, much better tight ends in the league.
Yeah, he's definitely underperforming. You know, you would do think he's got that talent to break into that top 5 tight ends.
I would put him up there with the top 5 guys. Like, I'd say he's definitely got the ability to be one of them. Like,
I see him a little bit differently to you. Then I just like he had that one big game this year, but I just could never get excited about him, if you know what I mean. I think he's had so much promise over the years, and he's never backed it up to me. So
that's a Lions thing. Let's be fair. Like, who was his quarterback? He had Stafford right there, and Stafford was a good quarterback, but he never done it at Detroit. Like, and then he went to the Rams and won the Super Bowl. Now we've got Hawkinson leaving. Can he go to the Vikings and do the same thing?
Yeah.
They've got they have probably on paper lacking a quarterback. If they had a better quarterback, everyone would be saying the Vikings are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Like, they just have a serious offense, bar Kirk Cousins.
Would you pick up just Jeff Wilson off the waiver wire in a 12-man?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, if you have a spot to burn, like if you have nothing else there, it's worth a shot. Like, but
his situation is not going to improve. Like,
well, I would say Jeff Wilson is a better running back than Mostert.
Do you think he's actually going to replace Mostert? I don't think.
Well, I think he's definitely going to take snaps. Like, Mostert had the lead of that backfield.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not right away, but I think in 2-3 weeks we could be looking and saying like Mostert's been pushed back down the pecking order, and Jeff Wilson's gone up the way.
They were both Miami 49ers roster though. With this coach is the issue.
I don't think Miami are afraid to change things in that backfield. They paid Chase Edmonds. They didn't like how it was going, and they got Mostert on a cheap prove-it deal, and Mostert ended up in the lead back. I think Jeff Wilson coming in, he's probably going to be tried out as the lead back. He's going to get snaps with the first team in training, and I think there's a realistic chance he takes over that backfield.
Everett or Ingram at tight end. Remember that question. We'll come back to it. We're in the in in the build up because I don't know who these people have in front of me, so we'll answer that question when we're in the build up. Claypool's fantasy impact in Chicago. I'm not overexcited. Yeah.
He's
I
like
feel like I've been not very excited about any of these.
he's gone from one offense that can't do anything to an offense that can run the ball. Like it's not changing.
Yeah, I don't think it will change, but I think if you have him, I think hold on to him, watch him, because Mooney is nothing special, and Claypool is nothing special here. But I would imagine he's a little bit better than Mooney, so he could very well be the wide receiver one. But look, let's say if he's a running quarterback, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference unless he learns to throw the ball.
No, and it looks like Montgomery and Herbert are going to get like the majority of touches for that team.
This has quickly become the questions episode, so
yeah,
we might just skip over the zeros and we'll just give honorable mentions to anyone.
Kicker of the week.
Loss of limb will not excuse you.
Yeah, to slip in kicker of the week there, Jamie, did you?
Nick Folk, kicker of the week.
Hey, that's his second time been kicker of the week this year.
Nick. Well done, Nick. Very proud. Very proud, man. We need a draft for that.
Do you want to just shout out anyone who completely sucked on your rosters or my rosters or whoever? Anyone who particularly gave you any anger, and we'll just skip over the failures this week.
No, anyone who was healthy for me played well this week. Everyone else that wasn't healthy didn't play. So I got 145 points off of a barely healthy team.
Yeah, weirdly, my team actually played well.
You played Derek Carr, it sucked for you. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, if you played a Raider.
But for the second week, if I had just went with this tie-in duo of Hawkinson and Hale, I would have actually won again this week.
I am sick of saying to you to play the two of them. I'm actually sick of saying it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to do it this time.
Sure you will.
And this is when it will not work. Yeah. Any more trades there while I'm quickly freaking around my soundboard here? No, change gonna do.
Calvin Ridley thing is all that's still there. Falcons and the Jaguars are finalizing the trade. Oh, that's where we went to. Sorry.
Assemble.
Did you just ruin the drop?
Yeah.
And he really committed to it as well. For a good 10 seconds. Oh, fair play.
Dan works hard on these soundboards, you know. Like,
You gotta always keep him on his toes, Jamie. Keep him on his toes. Can't have these Brits getting too comfortable. So what happened the last time?
They got too comfortable for 800 years. Philadelphia at Houston. This is kind of an open and shut case, this game, I'd say. Is there anyone that you think we need to discuss here? Like, you're playing Hurts, you're playing Sanders, AJ Brown, and Devonta Smith?
Yeah.
Everyone in the Eagles, probably no one in the Texans.
Yeah,
Goddard as well.
Yeah, Goddard and the defense.
Has Brandon Cooks been traded yet?
No, but hopefully we will be saying play Brandon Cooks for a different team because that man needs an out.
Damon Pierce he's in your lineup every week as an RB2 anyway, but
yeah, like this week I'd say temper your expectations on him this week. Like that Eagles defense is serious against the run and the pass. Like if he's lucky, he'll get 10 points this week.
Yeah. That was an easy matchup. Chargers at Atlanta. The 4-3 Chargers versus the 4-4 Atlanta Falcons. It's really gone off the rails quickly for the Chargers. I know they're 4-3, but just there's no real excitement around them this year, is there?
No, they look very poor. And the answer we got to answer this guy's question because he's got to work in 15 minutes, and we got to answer his questions. So
okay.
With either Everett
It
or
was,
Ingram.
Right, so
It was Everett, which is actually this matchup.
Yeah.
So Everett
oh,
or Ingram. So who do the Jacksonville Jaguars have this week? Sorry, let me scroll.
they are playing the Raiders.
See, I like Evan Ingram at this stage, but I'm just going to check and see what the Raiders are against the tight end.
Without knowing that, I would say go against Atlanta. Play Everett.
Well, I'll give you the actual figures. The Raiders are the third worst team against the tight end, and the Falcons
Surely the worst.
are the seventh. So they're both terrible. I personally go Ingram.
I take Everett just for the fact that Mike Williams is out and them red zone targets are probably going to go to Everett.
Yeah, I take Everett. I just like Herbert more.
Yeah, you can trust it. You can trust Herbert. Yeah.
So we've talked about the tight ends in this matchup.
Okay.
How did I not figure out that that fucking Vegas were playing Jacksonville quicker? There's only like 2 games in the difference on the app, and I had to scroll for ages. Back to the Chargers at the Falcons. Austin Eckler is your auto starter running back. Are you messing with any of the Atlanta running backs?
No.
Well, Algier is surely worth the flex at this point. Like, he's been average. He hasn't been great, but he's been good. And compared to the Falcons, it seems to be putting up points.
Yeah, 11 points at Cincinnati, 16 points last week against Carolina. Chargers run D. You could flex him. I would be against flexing him now.
Yeah, I wouldn't go any further than flex, but
the Chargers have actually been really bad against the run. I didn't realize that at all.
Yeah, Joey Bosa went down, didn't he?
Yeah. Second worst behind the Texans. That might be a matchup we have to pay attention to.
Okay. Flex him out so to see what he's like. Again, can he replicate 2 weeks over 10 points?
See, now we'll say that now, but would you prefer to flex Algier or would you prefer to like Mostert against the Bears, who's also suck?
I'd probably go Algier, I think. Yeah.
Who's the other option? This guy in the chat said we were Scotsmen, and then he said, "Or is it English or Scottish?" He's from the US. He can't tell. But
no, he said, "What you think of Scotsmen?"
Oh yeah, we like the Scots.
Scots
we don't
fine.
like the English.
Yeah, English.
We don't like Dan. Right? That's the main thing.
You're on a podcast, guys. You can't take it out on individual nations.
We ain't that popular
yet. And plus, we were oppressed for 900 years. We surely are allowed to have a little pimped up aggression.
It was Algier versus the Miami running back.
Mostert.
Yeah.
Who do Miami have this week? The Bears. Yeah, I'd probably go Mostert this week. The Bears traded away their only good piece on defense.
We're not playing any wide receivers in Atlanta. Are we going for Kyle Pitts now? Is that something you're gonna have to go in on again?
We've said it a heap of times. If he's on your roster, you're more than likely playing him. Like if it was me and he was on my team, I'd have probably got so annoyed and traded him away. And it probably would have been at a point last week where I would have had him dropped and he would have got big points. So I'm probably the wrong person to talk about Kyle Pitts at the minute.
I actually managed to pick him up on a waiver wire in another league.
See? Yeah. Someone thought like I do.
He was on waivers.
I actually got him on a waiver, yeah. So he's my tight end now.
So are you playing him?
Playing him every week.
I am playing him, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's that tight end carousel. He's not doing you much worse than a lot of other tight ends might do. If you're not there in that top 5 lads, the likes of Kelsey and whoever else, I can't think of now. Will Disley, exactly. The top 1. So he's probably not doing you any more harm than a lot of those lads are. Anyway.
Yeah,
Put new faith in Hawkinson. Hawkinson versus Washington, or Kyle Pitts versus the Chargers.
Oh, definitely go Hawkinson.
yeah.
No doubt.
Oh, the first week though, guy hasn't even gotten the playbook, and you're already mentioning him.
Yeah, no, he's in, man. Yeah, Kyle Pitts is. Look, Ito Smith has gone to IR, isn't he? So, like, Kyle or TJ Hawkinson is starting this week, regardless.
Yeah, he's going straight in. Like, who are the Vikings playing?
He just
They
said they're
are-
playing Washington.
Oh yeah. No, I'm going Hawkinson.
Everett we've talked through, and then Keenan Allen. Is Keenan Allen anywhere near fitness? Like he surely is. Like we watched the practice reports, I suppose, on that one.
Yeah, this could be anyone. This could be. I picked up Palmer for this game like 2 weeks ago because I was thinking he may be the only fifth one there, but I didn't get a concussion.
Palmer could be a slam dunk here. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, would you play Dubes for Green Bay or Josh Palmer? You're definitely going Palmer there, aren't you?
Oh, definitely. Palmer.
Yeah, definitely Palmer.
Would you
hold up, man in the chat? Ask for a streamable kicker. He's my favorite man. Chill, you're my kind of guy.
Trolling me? I have extreme prejudice towards kickers.
Nick Folk this week against the Indianapolis Colts would be my streamable kicker.
Yeah, I also
he's
like
actually on my roster, so he's not streamable. What are you saying, Jamie?
Gano for the Giants is always a good kicker. He's usually on the waiver. I like Gano.
Miami at Chicago. Tua versus Justin Fields. This is the battle of the second-year quarterbacks, is it? No, Tua was a different year, wasn't he? He was the Herbert year.
Yep.
Justin Fields is actually probably the best second-year quarterback at this stage. The deathly silence really shows how good the second-year quarterbacks are. So Tua is straight in against Chicago, and I think Justin Fields coming straight off the waiver wire into most people. Like if you're in that situation where you need a starting quarterback, Justin Fields probably the best of the options this week.
Yeah, that Miami D though, it's after been shored up a little bit, isn't it now? So
it's got a nice filled hole right now.
Yeah, so like quarterbacks, especially like playing quarterbacks against them is probably going to suck because trying to get out of the pocket with Chubb bearing down you is going to be harder.
Montgomery, Herbert. This is quickly becoming the Washington backfield as well, isn't it? Where it's just full on timeshare.
Yeah, it's riding the hot hand. Isn't that what they said? They came out and said that afterwards. They're just going riding the hot hand. Whoever looks good is getting the ball. Montgomery got stuffed a couple of times against the Cowboys. They went to Herbert. Herbert was getting yards. They stuck with Herbert. So that's just that's a fantasy nightmare there. If someone is nipping at your door trying to get one of the two Mafia, by all means, trade him away.
Turns out Folk is on his waiver wire, so Folk is straight in.
Yeah, I take Folk all day. Sanders is going to get you a lot of extra points this week, but Folk, he's going to get you extra points at field goals, and the field goals are important.
Then on to the wide receivers in this game. The newly acquired Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, Equimania St. Brown, N'Keal Harry. No one in Chicago really even comes into flex consideration there, in my opinion.
No, but like as we said earlier, if you have Claypool or he's on the waiver, just pick him up and drop him on the bench or your spot and just hold on to him for a few weeks and just pray. Yeah.
This Miami matchup is normally juicy as well, but just you can't bring me into any of those players.
No, I think you kind of stay away from the Bears at this point, really, unless you're kind of stuck.
Same can be said then for Cole Kmet, really, as well. Like it's just the same tar.
Yeah, Cole Kmet's been an awful disappointment.
Yeah, you forget about him. And
Yeah.
then on the Miami side, it's obvious who you're playing at the wide receiver position there.
Both the
Yeah,
boys.
that team starts itself. I'd be actually looking for another massive week from Tua again this week. I'd say they're just going to tear that secondary apart. I can't see anyone getting to Tua this week. That Bears defense is awful.
Gesicki's probably putting himself into like a decent position where you're happy enough to start him every week now.
Yeah, I would be like if he's there or I'm in need of a tight end or he's already on my team, 100% he's starting for me now this week especially.
Yeah, this is definitely a match you could actually play him. This could be an awful score from Miami. Like,
And most of it, we've kind of given him enough talk already. Like you're still gonna roll with him this week anyway.
Yeah. Look, I don't think Wilson's going to get a whole lot of touches this week, but I reckon you can maybe try trade out Mostert after this week, maybe because if he plays the following week and doesn't perform the way he has been performing, you've just lost a serious load of value. I think if you could trade and get good value in return, I'd be looking to move him.
yeah, I don't think you're. I still think he's going to be the number one there. I don't think he's going to lose that much value.
Carolina at Cincinnati. The Carolina are on a bit of a surge, and Cincinnati are not. PJ Walker is really doing DJ Moore a lot of favors.
Well, when you're not a great quarterback, you're trying to come in and learn to like PJ Walker was one of the XFL boys, wasn't he? Good season with them, but like you're coming in, you're looking who's the most talented guy here who can make me look really good. That's DJ Moore in this team.
Did anyone pass that memo on to Baker or Sam Darnold or?
See, it helps when you have a bit of arm strength as well, like that. That really goes a long way. And you're not a self-obsessed dick.
Is that a me or is that a Baker?
Baker. I suppose it could be aimed at you too.
Self-burn. We talked about Forum at the top. We gave him plenty of airtime. He's straight into your RB2 slot here.
Yep.
DJ Moore then probably the only option then from Carolina outside of that.
Yeah, well, DJ Moore was taken so high, he's probably a wide receiver 1 or 2 anyway at this point. Like he probably has been all season.
You can just feel better about it at this stage. It doesn't feel as bad.
Like I would like, and like the thing is, DJ Moore is a big enough name as well that off of a couple of weeks, if you're in a real bad spot, you could probably trade him out now as well. Like, you know, he's probably after gaining his trade value back a bit. Like, so you could probably move him if you needed to as well. Huh?
One more week, and then I'd say you probably have enough trade value again.
Yeah.
Might still be some scars there. Jamie, do you want to talk us through the Bengals?
The Bengals going to play themselves too, don't they? Really, you're probably going to start most of the boys.
Going back with Boyd again. You going back with Boyd again?
I think you can. Like majority of the time, any of those wide receivers on the Bengals side are all playable. You know, even if Chase was there, like Boyd was still a guy that if you're badly stuck, you probably could have still flexed. You know, like Boyd is not a bad wide receiver. You know, nice guy to have. So, like, yeah, I think you're playing both those boys. I think they're instantly in your lineup. Mixon's always in your lineup. Maybe the tight end. I think but I think you're on a tight end Carousel at that point.
Yeah, I think I'd be avoiding. I don't think I'd be too pushed on Hayden Hurst. Maybe.
Yeah, he's all right. Like if you're looking for 5-6 points a week, that seems to be Hayden Hurst's level. The only guy I think I'd be worried about on the Bengals is Joey Burrow. He's the only man who didn't perform up to what his usual standard was in fantasy when Jamar Chase wasn't in the team.
Jamar Chase does probably get him an extra 15 to 20
yeah,
yeah.
He's had 3 weeks under 20 points. And even at that, they're one of them is a 19.28. Like, so the rest of his weeks have been high 20s, 30s, and 40s. So like he's been some loss for him. Like, I think I'd be a bit worried if I was a Joe Burrow owner.
We have a juicy matchup to talk about here. Green Bay at Detroit. To the 1-6 Detroit Lions get another win here in division.
Facts. The Detroit Lions are going to win this game. It's done. Green
What's the
Bay
line?
are ass.
At this point, I would not be surprised, and I'm not standing up for them anymore. So yeah, they could. But they looked
Google
okay against the Bills. So they didn't look as bad as they were the last few weeks. So you can play Jones, but I think after that you're just tossing the coin.
Well, I think if Lazar is healthy, I'm playing Lazar as well.
Yeah. With Lazar's healthy, yeah, I think you play with Lazar all right.
Yeah, the Lions defense is going to give up a lot of points. It could be a big scoring game this again because like the Lions can score, but they can also be very easily scored on.
Yeah, it might actually be a great fantasy game.
Like
Bay minus 3.5 points.
What was it? Minus 3.5.
Yeah, definitely taking Lions.
God, Green Bay have fallen, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's actually sad that Dallas with a backup quarterback have played better than what Green Bay did.
Yeah.
On the Lions side, then
if Lazard is out, you could play Dubes here. I think Dubes.
I don't. You're the person who played Dubes off the goose egg, and you're prescribing it again.
If he was okay last week, I think if Lazard isn't there, like Dubes is the only person he can throw the ball to, and it's Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day. I know he hasn't played well, but it's the Lions. Surely to God, if it doesn't happen, this one is not going to happen. Like
Dawson Knox rest of season, I don't think he has a lot of value because I don't think Josh Allen needs him.
Yeah,
I think that's fair enough.
And then Goddard this week.
I take Goddard. He's in a very good matchup against the Texans.
Yeah. Fair enough. And then we were talking about the Lions side. Jared Goff. I did a last minute pivot this week from Derek Carr to Jared Goff, and it worked out all right for me. But I don't know if I'd prescribe it again this week.
What do you mean it worked out all right? Instead of getting nothing, you got 20 points. That's working out amazingly well.
The rest of my team decided not to play anyway, so I didn't feel any joy from it. But yes, it was a decent last minute pivot. If I had stuck with Derek Carr, the rage on Monday morning would have been a lot heftier. But Derek Carr, would you play him, or would you go with, let's say, there's actually no one who's jumping out off the.
I
Trevor
would play
Lawrence
Davis Mills against the Eagles before I'm playing Derek Carr again. I fuck Derek Carr. You laid a goose egg. You're not playing again. Get out of my fantasy team.
Goff, but anyway, would you play Jared Goff against Green Bay or Trevor Lawrence against the Raiders?
I'd probably play Jared Goff just for the simple fact that Detroit's problem isn't offense, it's defense. So Jared Goff should have no problem scoring you points.
There's not really many streaming options. Like it'd be Jared Goff or Geno Smith against Arizona, but Geno is probably rostered at this stage. You're not going to play Matthew Stafford against Tampa Bay. Like there's really very few streaming options this week.
You could probably get away with, I can't believe I'm going to say it, but you could probably get away with Mariota against the Chargers with the way they have a bad run defense.
It seems to be like a theme every week is you could probably get away with Mariota. But it's been very true. We'll get to Mariota when we get to. We've already gone past the.
We've already gone past him. You are not on form tonight, are you?
Oh, Halloween weekend takes its toll. DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams.
The-
Man, being a Swift owner must really be heavy at this stage. Jamal Williams is looking electric.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
tough pill to swallow, really, isn't it? But Jamie said it here a million times. Williams he has the quality to be a running back one, like so. Look, it's just a bad situation to be in. I do think Swift will win the job back. I think he's better, but health is his issue. Just staying
Yeah.
fit long enough to lead the backfield.
Yeah, he's just not healthy. Like once Swift comes back there at full health, he's taking that over. Like
Flex AJ Dillon, Gerald Everett, Hines, Tony, or Kenyon Drake if Gus doesn't play.
This thing, if Gus doesn't play, Gus got 11 carries the weekend and did nothing with them. Kenyon Drake got 7, got more yards, and scored a touchdown. That backfield, stay away from it. Stay away from the Ravens' backfield. It's not worth it.
I'm never playing Kenyon Drake in a million years.
I would, out of all of these, I would probably play Hines. I think the way Indianapolis is playing is suiting him down to the ground. He's getting a lot of targets. He's getting the odd few carries. I'd play Hines at my flex.
I'd be careful. He could be traded though in the next 10 minutes because there is rumors floating around the place.
maybe even better.
Yeah, it might actually be better for him. Yeah.
For me, AJ Dillon's not in this question. Kenyon Drake's not in the question.
I
So
think he
then
nearly take Everett, to be honest.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that as well. I just don't know if I could trust Tony on the first game.
I tell you,
No.
look, if Hines isn't traded, Hines is the man.
Putting a tight end in your flex just never feels right. Okay. So we were talking about Swift and Williams. You're probably just playing the two of them realistically. You don't really have an option there. And then Amon-Ra is in.
All day.
Who's the new tight end for Detroit now? B. Wright.
Brock Wright.
That's the name we're gonna have to remember.
He's got a cool name.
He's questionable for the weekend. He's probably not playing. James Mitchell, step on up.
And then Bob Tunyon. You can't really excite me with him. I'm not that interested in it, but if you want to go for it, you do you. Detroit are bad against the tight end.
Yeah, like Tunyon's one of them guys, isn't he? He had like one really good year, and now he went back to being like irrelevant again, and then he pops up every so often with a good week. You're like, oh, see, he's still relevant. And it's like, no, he's not.
Yeah, he never came back from that injury. But like, if you're gonna play him, this is probably the week to play him. So if Lazard is out, Dubes is. You could play Dubes here, like, but if you're playing Dubes, you're playing Tunyon.
Is Lazard not meant to be back this weekend as well?
He should be back, I'd say. But if he's out, like if he's back, you don't play anyone else. You just play Lazard.
Yeah,
but if he's out, you have a couple of options, I think.
Yeah, against Detroit, it's probably not a bad shout. If you're throwing the dart and you're looking for a touchdown from your tight end, it's probably not a bad shout. But don't get excited about it. Las Vegas at Jacksonville, 2-5 versus 2-6.
We got a few more questions there, Dan, if you want to hit them before we move on.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad shout. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at IFPunts. Do you think Kareem Hunt will get traded? Please, God, let him get traded.
Yeah, I have him on my team with the last 3 years. It'd be amazing if he actually got traded. Because then I'd trade his ass.
I actually don't really want him to go to the Rams because their running game doesn't seem to be working at all. But if you could, where is the perfect place for Kareem Hunt?
Well, I thought I would have said Miami. That would have been my destination for him, was Miami, but they went and got Wilson, so I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't know if he does get traded anymore now. I'm just praying someone comes in, because anywhere is better for Hunt than the Browns. Just playing behind Chubb sucks.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker and Sutton for Montgomery, Herbert, and DK. Nah, give me Kenneth Walker and Sutton. I just don't want to play with that Chicago nonsense.
I don't know
Yeah,
why you're
not-
taking Pope and covering Herbert, and yeah. Why would you want that?
Oh, I was thinking Justin Herbert. I wasn't even thinking Khalil Herbert.
I suppose at least like if one of
Maybe
them
it's
goes
Justin
down,
Herbert.
you have a.
Maybe it's Justin Herbert. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I just
If it's Justin Herbert, I'm out. If it's not the two Chicago running backs, I think I still want Kenneth Walker and Sutton.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
I'd rather have DK than look, it's Justin Herbert. It's not Khalil. Yeah, I'd rather have Kenneth Walker and Sutton, but I'd rather have DK than Sutton. That's the only thing that's catching me with that. But I'd still rather have Kenny Walker.
I don't know what this QB right now is in reference to, but mine will hopefully be Justin Fields after this waiver wire.
Jamie,
What?
who's your QB?
Who's my QB? Oh,
Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
And mine is Tua Tagovailoa.
Practicing that pronunciation, are you?
No, I'm just good with names, man.
Derek Carr is gone to fantasy purgatory. He will not be on anyone's roster for the rest of the season. Trevor
Well,
Lawrence.
Definitely not after this week. Come on. Can't play him like.
Trevor Lawrence, would you stream Trevor? Like Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff, I think will be continuously the. Would you play one over the other each week?
Yeah, like Trevor Lawrence is, I think, better than Derek Carr to me, but he needs more. Like you give Trevor Lawrence Derek Carr's team, I think the Raiders are actually relevant. But like with the receivers he has, he's done all right. Like to win 2 games with that, with the weapons he has, is pretty good. Like
I think you need to wait for him to play a bad defense, and then you can play him essentially.
yeah. That's basically it. Like, but even then, are you trusting him to come up with the goods? With the like, Kirk has been decent at the start of the year. He's kind of got off the boil a bit recently. Zay Jones is a 5-6 point a week guy. Do you know, like ETN, he's not going to get Lawrence points. Like,
No.
So
transition nicely to EDN there. he's into your RB slot, and Josh Jacobs is having a career year, so we don't really need to stall on the running backs too much. But the aforementioned Christian Kirk, like, you're probably questioning flex at this stage, are you?
No. Look, I still think I'd flex him right now. I don't think he hasn't had a 2 point or a 3 point week, which for a lot of, like, Cortland Sutton just had one this week. Like for a lot of top receivers had him. Devontae Adams had a goose egg this week. Like Kirk has been always kind of getting you some sort of points, so I would flex him. If he's my wide receiver 1 or 2, I'm very worried. Like,
yeah, I think that's fair enough. Yeah, I think you still flex him. I don't think if you have Kirk, you're not going to not play him. He still has, like, as you said, Shane, like he's not hurting you a lot of weeks. He's doing more good and bad in a lot of weeks.
Would you play him or Gabe Davis against the Jets?
Gabe Davis is very touchdown dependent. I think it depends what situation you're in, who you have on your team. But like, the better upside is Gabe Davis without a doubt. He's Josh Allen there, and he could go for 100 yards in one throw, which we seen earlier this year. Like, but if you're talking consistency over the year, Kirk is the guy you want. Like,
yeah, but I still think if you have Davis, you play Davis. Just, because he will burn you on the bench.
Yeah, if you have a really good team and you're looking at flex options, and you know you're getting about 100, 120 points in the week, you're probably going to flex Kirk. But if you're looking at an 80-point week and you're thinking, I need someone to flash for me, you're going to play Gabe Davis over Kirk.
Sorry about that. I have a dog who is barking because there's fireworks, because, of course, every asshole in the city still has some left over. So I have to mute a little bit in between. Devontae Adams, it was rough last week. He was ill during the week. Surely you're going back to the well straight away here against Jacksonville. You have to, really.
Oh yeah. If you Adams, you're playing Adams all the time. He should have just never left Rodgers.
Someone's a little sour there as he says that with his green bay scarf in the background.
That's what you get for being a little bitch. You got Derek Carr.
Evan Ingram. I think Evan Ingram's like he's kind of him and Gesicki have kind of elevated themselves to you're just chucking them in every week now into your tight end slot.
Yep.
Happy to play them. Waller is I'd be more worried. Oh, Waller's out actually, isn't he?
Out, yeah.
So who you're
there's
looking at?
no real
Foster
point to
Monroe.
I
take it we're not.
Yeah, no, like I'm
No.
the only option I'm taking from there is Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams until Derek Carr. Ugh.
Until he does what? He's never playing again. If you pick him up, we're having a vote and we're kicking you out of the league. You're done.
The Colts at New England. Let's get into Jonathan Taylor talk because that's where we need to start, obviously. Watch the practice reports and see what they come out and say. But if he's fit, he goes straight back in and you take your lumps.
To me, Jonathan Taylor's been injured a few times this year, so you've probably got cover for him earlier in the year. I think I might actually leave Taylor out if I had the options.
There's a potential now, really, isn't there? Actually,
yeah. Like I think he's been out a few times this year. You've probably picked up someone to cover him. Depending on who it is, like if you picked up if you got Hines to cover Taylor while he was out, I think I'd play Hines over Taylor this week. See, you own him and you love him. It's different.
That's a bold prediction.
You're not staring down that choice. You're not the man who has to actually press the button and put Jonathan Taylor on the bench for Naeem Hines.
Yeah, that's
making that call.
Yeah, no one's doing that. Like,
I definitely would. Come on now, I would do that.
Definitely wouldn't.
I would do it. I'm the man who played Paris Campbell this week, man.
I'll do that now this week, and he'll just like laugh at me in the league chat for the whole weekend.
Well, you can't because someone in our league already has him.
Yeah, I'm not picking up Hines. I'm sticking
He's already
to my
gone. It's too late.
It is bye week hell as well. I don't know if you're not going to have many options not to play Taylor, to be honest. But hopefully the decision will be made for you, and he'll either be injured or he won't be injured.
Well, let's let the listeners know, who do you have to replace him if he's not playing? Who are you sticking into your lineup to replace Jonathan Taylor?
I'm not benching him, first of all. I could put in AJ Dillon or Gus Edwards, and I just can't do either of those.
No, you're not doing that. That's called spade. Like,
why couldn't I be playing you this week?
Oh, the hell that is fantasy football. Pittman. I wish we had more answers with Pittman, because it's. I think you should be trying to get rid of Pittman off your roster if you can at this stage.
That's if you've options, Dan.
Well, Alec Pierce is an option. He got 0.8 less of a point this week than Pittman.
No, like Pittman's okay. He's not burning you too badly at the moment, but he's not at that standard that you expected him to be at. he's completely lost all trade value. So like you're not going to get anything from him realistically at this point.
Would you get
Um,
Jacoby Myers for him?
Would you want Jacoby Myers from him?
Yeah, I would right now. Yeah, I take Jacoby
Really?
Myers over Pittman. Yeah, right now.
I wouldn't, to be honest.
Right, but his last 4 weeks: 20 points, 8 points, 10 points, 16 points. That's Jacoby Myers. What's Pittman? 8, 5, 19, and 8.
Yeah, but still backing talent on that, like.
Yeah, but I think right now Pittman's the bigger name. You could probably sell Pittman for Myers, and I think you're going to end up in a better place. It's all quarterback play you're dependent on. I think right now I would take the Patriots, whoever they play at quarterback, over whoever the Colts decide to play at quarterback.
Yeah.
Ellinger.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee that he's still a quarterback after next week. Like,
and then on the Patriots side, it's Ramondre Stevenson, and that's about it, really, isn't it? Unless you're on Jacoby Myers, like Shane said.
yeah, I'd have no problem starting Jacoby Myers this week.
Yeah.
What's going on with Damian Harris? Like, is it just Ramondre just the one there now, and that's that?
I seen something earlier that they were trying to move him, maybe trade him. So maybe he gets more of a workload if they don't manage to offload him.
Yeah.
Any more trades there in the last little while, or has it gone quiet?
No, William Jackson the third went from the Commanders defense to the Steelers, and that's it, I think.
Yeah.
I think for fantasy.
No.
Buffalo at the Jets. Oh, Zach Wilson is getting offered up to the Buffalo gods here. We're going to have Joe Flacco in a week.
Oh,
Load up. If you can find Garrett Wilson on a waiver wire, get him now before a confident QB gets in there.
yeah.
Like you're just loading up in bills here. Is it? Like you're like, what do you really want in the Jets here? What are you going to get fantasy wise? Nothing. You know.
Yeah, you'd have to be a brave man or woman to go with any Jets player here. Like it's just disgusting everywhere.
Elijah Moore is one who might be traded out. So if he
Did you see what
does
he
get,
said?
yeah, he I seen that he was asked about the chemistry, and he said, "What was it? I don't know, sure, I don't get the ball."
Yeah, he's not happy there at all. Like,
No, so I do hope that he gets moved, but if he does get moved, like he's he's owned roughly 50% to sleeper, have him. So like he should be on a lot of free agents waiver wires. Like, so he'd be one I might be considering if I have an empty slot there to pick up just in case he's traded.
I suppose we've done Conklin a disservice here. Like, could Conklin do much?
No.
not here. Yeah, I don't think you want to play him against the Bills.
Looking back at Dawson Knox here, we were asked a question about him earlier. He did score 11.2 points against Kansas City and then 8 against Green Bay. But I just don't have any confidence because Josh Allen can just get rid of him at any point in time.
Yeah, like there's one thing that's certain on that Bills team, and that's Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are going to get you a lot of points. Everyone else from Gabe Davis, McKenzie, Knox, like they're the other guys you're looking at trying to pick up points from the Bills, and they're all week to week guys. Like they are going to burn you, but they are going to give you a big week.
I suppose Singletary is probably the main question. Like, but I think the question, Jamie, you can probably answer it pretty quickly for us.
What, Singletary? God,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just
like if you have him, you're probably still playing him because you probably have absolutely zero options. But if you have an option, just don't play him. Like we said, this is the start of the year, so if Bills running backs, they're just an absolute disaster.
Minnesota at Washington. This is the last game of the early window. Like this is like Minnesota have become such like a decent machine in offense that the questions kind of really answer themselves. The only like Kirk Cousins, if you need him, like if you have a quarterback on bye, fair enough. Like say Dak's on bye and you have Kirk Cousins sitting there, go for it. But like you're never playing Cousins with an excited face, really, are you?
No, no. Any man who gets excited by Kirk Cousins in fantasy or real life needs to up his intake of football.
But it's just so odd because he's got so many, good weapons, good lads to help him out, and like, why is he so poor? Like,
Because he's ass.
But like, a quarterback on that team should be a guy we're saying every single week you start him 100%. Like,
Look,
it's just it's
he's
madness.
ass.
But I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like with that team, even someone half decent should be fucking unbelievable in fantasy.
He is super consistent this year. Like he seems to get like 20 points consistently, but then it'll get to a matchup like Miami where you're expecting him to absolutely smash everything and you get like 20 points. I think that's the main disappointment with him. The second you trust him, he's gonna do you.
Yeah, like I would just rather take the risk with it, like Tua or someone like that, even Jared Goff over Kirk Cousins. Like I think the upside is so much higher, and I just take the risk on them than getting disappointed by Cousins.
Dalvin Cook auto start. The Washington running backs, we're at the point now where you probably can't play any of them anymore. They've all eaten into each other and you've no idea which way to look.
Yep.
Yeah, just don't play them.
And Washington's receivers, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, he's relevant. Yeah, I'd say Terry wide receiver 2 material. He seems to be Heineke's favorite target. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Go on, Jamie. You fire it out.
Absolutely disastrous for Naeem Hines. He's been traded to the Bills. So he's not relevant anymore.
There's the old what would we even call it? The dead zone for running backs.
Yeah.
Why would they even go for Hines? Like what? Like they already have 3 running backs they don't use.
Yeah, and they're 3 pass catching running back. Well, bar Zach Moss, I suppose, isn't a pass catcher, but the other 2 are pass catchers. Like same as Hines. What's the point?
I don't know. Well, that Jonathan Taylor now has nobody to share the backfield with as he doesn't score any points. Yeah. Curtis Samuel seems to have disappeared a little bit since the well, saying that he has got 10 and 9, but it's not been the electric start you had at the open of the season. So I think you're probably just playing McLaurin there and moving on.
Yeah.
Jefferson and Thielen. Thielen's probably a flex. I think that's just the motto of the year. Thielen's a good flex.
Thielen's consistent, man. He's been consistent now. Like wide receiver 2, no. Like I'd say KJ Osborne is a flex. Huh?
If Thielen's in your flex, you're doing very well.
Yeah, like
good team.
KJ Osborne to me is a flex. Like KJ Osborne started the season rough, got to week 3, blew up, bad week, decent week. Like he's like KJ to me is your flex option there. Like I think you could play the 3 of them. Maybe not now with Hawkinson after coming in. Maybe he's out. Like, but
yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be messing with Osborne. It's too many mouths to feed.
On a bye, you said it yourself. Bye week hell is in about. If you're in need of a flex option, KJ Osborne might be a bad shout. playing against a terrible bunch of DBs.
Seattle at Arizona. Geno Smith, Kyler Murray. They're probably like Geno's definitely an auto start here against Arizona.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're happy
And
playing
Kyler,
Smith at this point.
Kyler, you're just playing him every game anyway. Kenneth Walker, there's no real point discussing that. The Arizona running backs, I'm at the stage now. It's just James Conner if he's healthy, and after that, don't bother.
Yeah, Eno was terrible the weekend, wasn't he? He was awful. Like that just
Yeah, he burnt you, didn't he?
yeah, 9 carries, 22 yards. It's just so bad. Like
DK Metcalf cannot be injured apparently, and will just play no matter what and be and be good. So DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett straight in again. I don't care what your questions are, or what like you're playing the two of them no matter what, really. Like you could probably let's pull out like DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett both going ahead of Gabe Davis for me.
yeah,
Like they're both going ahead of Christian Kirk.
yep.
They both going ahead of Lazard for me. Like
Yeah, that's fair
Yeah, I'd
enough.
agree. Yeah, the upside is higher with the two boys.
Yeah.
there's like once you get past like I'd say the top 15 wide receivers, there's no one like that would get in ahead of those two. And then D Hop is straight in every week now. He's come back just the way he was. Rondale Moore is the question. Are you picking Rondale Moore up off waivers this week?
Rondale Moore is one of those guys who's just gonna you pick up and he'll burn you, and then you put him on your bench and he'd be class. Like you know, he's just that kind of player. You just don't know. But like if you're stuck for a flex, you probably go flex him. Yeah.
This is the week he lures you in.
This is
Yeah.
definitely the lures you in and just destroys you.
Like Seattle's defense is shown to be decent as well. Like so, like is it a bit of a stay away from Rondale Moore week, or is it a bit of a week where they say D Hop is going to be covered so much that Rondale Moore is going to get a bit of freedom?
I don't think it matters if D Hop's covered, to be honest. From what I saw at the weekend, he's very, very good.
Yeah. Pity about the coaching.
Yeah, I also love the way that Patrick Peterson was like giving it the biggins. Didn't line up against D Hop once. He's guarding the ghost of AJ Green out there, like.
Fuck.
Some bad breaking news, Shayna.
I fucking hate the fucking Cleveland Browns. Just
Can
they just go be an irrelevant again? Can they? Fucking
absolutely no one. He's staying in Cleveland. He's not moving anywhere.
Also, Brandon Cooks isn't moving either. He's staying put too. So fuck you, Dan.
Very disheartening. This has completely ruined my day. I'm just turning this stream off now.
I have to tear someone down with me. I feel better again.
Why can't I have nice things?
You have the best record out of all of us in the league. You've also scored the least points out of all of us in the league.
I am not. It is not lost on me that I have been very lucky so far this year. It'll all come good when Jonathan Taylor is the only player left in Indianapolis, and he has to get the ball every time.
I'm telling you now, pick up Deion Jackson. He's free. Go get Deion while you can, man.
Actually, might do that. Will Disley and Zach Ertz, I think, are both plays this week.
Yeah, facts. Two of my boys.
We're going to get through this whole Rams at Tampa Bay segment without mentioning Skoranek. Okay.
Okay.
Joe played Skoranek.
Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady.
No, I don't think you've any two of them now, do you?
Yeah.
There's surely a better option out there.
Well, we'll put this to you then, Jamie. Would you play Captain Kirk or either of these two?
Oh, yeah, you play Carr all day in front of these two. Yeah.
Oh, my pride won't let me do it. I'd have to play Brady. Can't play Kirk. Man's ass. Can't play ass.
He's ass, but these two guys are also being ass now.
Yeah, but Brady's the GOAT. He's allowed to be ass for a while.
He's had some bad news the last couple of weeks. Like let the man have his moment.
Yeah. He's just
Um,
setting it up for the greatest comeback of all time.
This is really annoying now because we have to talk about this Rivers lad at running back for the Rams.
No, we don't. He's been reverted back to the practice squad.
Has he actually?
Yeah, he's been booted to the curb.
I don't think you're playing Henderson at this stage either, not against this run D. So Leonard Fournette
Well-
is the lone running back.
Kerryon Williams is coming back off of IR this week, and there's rumors that he's going leading the Rams backfield from now on.
Yeah, I don't want any of that against Tampa Bay this week.
Like that makes the whole situation even worse. Because now you have three lads you could potentially pick.
No, Rivers has gone back to the practice squad. Henderson looks like they're not happy with him, and Williams got injured week 1 after one snap, and they were going leading the backfield with Williams off of training camp. So Williams is going to be the guy at some point in Los Angeles this season.
Yeah, well, it was never great anyway, was it? So,
I don't even know. Like if you
He's-
gave me starting running back, I don't even know do I want that. Like
You're
Yeah,
just
like-
upset because I got him and you didn't.
yeah, I don't even want that. I don't even have a second running back anymore.
If he plays good this week, I might trade him to you, okay?
Well, there's another trade after going in there now. So on the other side of the Hines deal, Zach Moss is going to the Colts.
Oh, pick up Zach Moss this week. Zach Moss is the pickup this week.
Zach Moss might be the pickup this week.
He
I
is,
think
man.
Jim
Zach
White
Moss is
might
the
be.
pickup.
He is.
Why-
that really muddies up everything now because Deion Jackson would have been grand.
Yeah, but why trade away a pass catching back for a power back when you already have Jonathan Taylor in your team?
Zach Moss has good hands though. Like, have you ever watched any of these Buffalo games? Like, they throw it to him a lot. It's really weird.
I do like Zach Moss. I think he's a good running back. He could do very well in the Colts.
Jamie has a second running back.
Hang on.
Yeah, I've literally just
Zach
threw him
Moss.
onto, I've literally just picked him off on the waivers.
Did ya? There's no point me putting him on mine, so
No point
Bye,
putting
bye.
a claim in is what you're saying there.
yeah, no point.
Yeah, like in the first game, he had 6 targets, he had 6 receptions, and then they just stopped throwing him the ball. Apparently, I don't know. Let's see how Zach Moss does here.
Anyway, yeah, back to
Running back.
Rams, Tampa Bay, I suppose. Wide receivers, yeah.
Yeah,
You're not
Um,
talking running wide receivers. You're only going to bring up one wide receiver here.
Oh, I'm not.
Alright,
Skoranek
go
let
on,
me
Shane.
down this week.
Oh,
I needed him to catch one touchdown for a lot of money, and he didn't do it.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin straight in.
Yeah, I think you have
Yeah.
to go with the two of them, don't you? Julio will be the question on Tampa's side, I suppose, isn't he?
Nah,
not
you're all
really,
right.
is he?
It's like
Yeah.
for a flex option, what, 9 points when he came back in, going against the Rams?
He got a touchdown though. Like he was crap otherwise. Like
Fair enough.
yeah, 4 for 2, 21. A touchdown. I have him on a dynasty roster, and I really wanted him to come well this year, but he did not. What about the other side of the ball? Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson.
Cooper Cup.
Cup, yep, that's it.
is
Oh,
slightly
Connor is back.
JT, Josh Jacobs, Kenny Walker, and Joe Mixon. Which one should I trade for Amon-Ra?
There's a chance you have to give up. I don't know. Do you just get one? Like, does one of them guys get you Amon-Ra? Like,
Taylor probably wouldn't now, would he?
Well, I'm of the opinion like Amon-Ra has been unhealthy this year, but when healthy, he has shown that he is a top 5 guy. Like JT for me this year, I don't think, unless it's dynasty, I don't think I'm taking JT. Joe Mixon, I love Joe Mixon, but I don't think like Kenny Walker to me is probably the only guy I'd consider for Amon-Ra at the minute. But Kenny Walker's upside as a running back is insane.
I don't think you want to get rid of Walker at this point.
That's it. Like I think
it's too good. Like,
do you package Josh Jacobs off the career year with JT or Mixon, or do you just put JT and Mixon together and go for him?
You can get Amon-Ra if you put. Like I feel like if you're trading JT away, you're not going to get great value. But like, go get Amon-Ra and like something else to go with the running back. Because if you like, surely you can get for Josh Jacobs at the minute. Surely you can get Amon-Ra plus like a backup running back.
Oof. I don't know, Dan. Like, Amon-Ra is a top 5 guy healthy. Like Josh Jacobs is having a good year, but he's burnt so many people in the past. Are they going to buy on him, especially the way the Raiders played last week?
I suppose that's why you asked the question. Like people might be getting sick of Amon-Ra because of the injuries. You know, I know he whenever he's on the field, he's dominant, but it's keeping him on the field.
And the thing
like,
is with Amon-Ra,
would you not equate that to Jonathan Taylor? Like, you know, he's doing the exact same thing. You know, there's a lot of upside.
It hurts
Jonathan
more.
Taylor.
It hurts more. He was a first round pick.
I know, but like, could you not just go straight up Taylor for Amon-Ra here?
Yeah, look, I would still be hesitant of getting rid of Josh or Jonathan Taylor. Like, I think out of all of them, I'd rather get rid of Jacobs or Mixon at the minute.
But like, I don't Walker or JT. Just say JT, and like I would trade away JT if I could get Amon-Ra plus another piece. Like,
I don't think you are though. I think with the way JT is playing at the minute, you're not getting anything with Amon-Ra for him.
But ask the question, like.
Yeah, definitely ask the question. Like, you shouldn't just give him up. Like, but definitely, I'd be keeping Walker. I think Walker's upside is too high.
Yeah, I wouldn't be that to go with Walker.
I agree. Connor also says, "I aim mines to the Bills." Oh, and Zach Moss.
I don't know why you're excited about that. He just tanked his whole career.
He's become irrelevant once again. He was getting too much work. He was like, Jesus, boys, not used to this. Get me somewhere where I won't play anymore.
Are you interested in Allen Robinson at this stage, or are we just
no?
Yeah, no, I don't. You don't want Robinson.
Look, after the last 2 weeks that he's played against Carolina and San Francisco, if I'm stuck, I'll play him as a flex. But other than that, I don't want him on my team. I wouldn't be trading for him. I wouldn't be picking him up off waivers. If my team is okay, I wouldn't have him.
Higbee is a bit of a question mark at the Rams tight end slot, but I think you're playing him again this week and seeing what happens.
Yeah, I'd agree with
that. Tennessee at Kansas City. Hopefully we have Ryan Tannehill back for this game. Derrick Henry is your auto start, and then after that, the Tennessee side looks mighty thin.
Bleak.
Very bleak. But you could probably throw everyone on the Kansas side in. You know.
Yeah, like for me being a Henry owner this week is it's probably going to suck for Henry owners just for the fact that Kansas City are probably going to get ahead. Tennessee aren't going to be able to run the ball as much. Or maybe Tennessee do a Bears on it and just run it for 200 yards when they're 3 scores down, because there's little to no linebackers in the box because everyone's back in coverage. So it might be a great week, but I'd say it's going to be a bad week for Henry owners this week.
The Clyde Edwards-Helaire parade kind of came to an abrupt stop. 5 points, 3.3, 9.2. Like, if you need a running back, fair enough, but I think I'd be avoiding Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, I love it.
It's not like we didn't say it weeks ago. But look,
Yeah, I love it.
what do we know?
I would flex Juju every week now, though. Juju has been very consistent.
I think he could definitely go into a wide receiver 2 spot even at this point. He looks like
Yeah,
he's actually getting.
The big question mark with Juju now, though, is Kadarius Toney coming in, isn't it? What happens there?
Tony's an interesting one. He's a very interesting one. If he's not picked off, you pick him up, you drop him on the bench. I picked him up in another league. I'm on the bench waiting for him to explode. Like he's like Dan knows how talented he is. Dan loves the man. You know, like I know it's a Mahomes. That could be a beautiful partnership. That could.
Yeah, he's gone away from.
I'd wait this week. I wouldn't play him this week.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I wouldn't bank on him straight away. I'd have him on my bench, all right. But it'll be interesting going forward to see, is Juju just as relevant as he has been the last couple of weeks with Kadarius Toney in the team?
Well, I don't think Tony's going to go straight in there this week.
He'd probably get some snaps. They'll probably give him a couple of go routes and stuff, but I don't think he's going to be complete anywhere relevant this week unless he gets a go route from the 10-yard line and catches a 90-yard touchdown.
What'll end up happening is he'll get like a slant and he'll just bring it to the house, and that'll be the one target he gets.
Yeah, that'd be something mad like that now, and we'll just look like idiots.
Let's bring this home. Baltimore at the Saints. It's tough in this game. Like you're like Lamar Jackson hasn't been doing you any favors, but you're never gonna go away from him.
No. Yeah, there's two starts I think you're gonna make with Baltimore. Jackson, and if Andrews is fit. Even if Andrews isn't fit, I think if you get Likely, you're all right. But they'd be the only guys I'd look at on Baltimore. I don't want that backfield, and I don't want any of the wide receivers. So it just doesn't sit with me at all. Like, there's no faith there. Like, there's no trust.
No. Like, even at this point, I think even Bateman, I know he's out, but like, you'd nearly just drop him. I don't think you'd hold on to him.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be too many suitors coming in for him on the waiver wire either at the minute. Like
I have him, and I'm just about to drop him, to be honest. He's worth nothing. Like
I think I would would you nearly be better off taking Devin Duvernay over him just for the fact that Duvernay returns kicks and punts as well. Like, he's a chance to score off of them.
Duvernay can actually score you points this week as well. Bateman won't score you any points this week.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. Like,
yeah, and looks like Bateman might be out for another couple of weeks again. You know, so by the time the fantasy season's finished, he's only going to play a handful of times.
Yeah, like is he? Bateman's probably not fantasy relevant anymore. So for the rest of this year, realistically,
no, you can cut him if you need need a wide receiver. Cut him.
He's only taking up space on your team right now. So
that's all.
Yeah, exactly. There's not really a lot to talk about in this game, to be honest. Like Taysom Hill, you're going in. Gus Edwards, I'd be looking for another option, but if you had to, go for it. Yeah, it's not really a lot to talk about here. Kamara straight in, Olave straight in.
Yeah, I'd say temper your expectations as well on Kamara as well this week. That Baltimore D-line and linebacking core is after getting a hell of a lot better this week. So I'd say Kamara might struggle a bit this week, but he'd say he's still an automatic start.
Yeah.
Then Mickey Andrews, if he's healthy.
Yeah. If not, play lightly.
Yeah, that's about it with this game, isn't it?
And that brings us to the end of the show. That's not a bad little run in this week, even though we were a little bit rough around the edges.
I can't believe I made it. To be honest.
Your please like and follow us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter, guys, at the IF Punts. Thanks a million for listening in.
Best of luck, lads.
See you later, guys.